shit that you do, the shit that you say, won't fuck with my mind. Won't fuck.
Disclaimer. Y'all already know. I don't know nothing. I ain't talking about nothing. I ain't saying nothing. Let go. Elberton, Georgia, a quaint little town located 20 minutes outside of South Carolina's state line. For those who have heard of Elberton, Georgia, you've either heard of the Elberton, Georgia for the Guidestones of Georgia, the mysterious Guidestones of Georgia, or for being the mass producer of granite. They are self-noted as the granite capital of the world, but they pretty much truly are due to the production that they do produce of monuments, sculptures, and things like that. Once you arrive to Elberton, Georgia, you see that the town is rustic, quaint, traditional. Most of the townsmen are of age, so therefore most of the younger people actually probably travel out. As I journeyed through Elberton, Georgia, I noticed that it was just like a quiet, quaint town. You know, it had a lot of traditions, side uh, farming little stands that you could purchase things for. I actually ate the sweetest peach I had ate in almost 10 years, like serious. But anywho, I traveled to Elberton, Georgia in 2012, being curious about the mysterious Guidestones of Georgia. Upon me traveling there in 2012, I actually was very nervous about arriving there because due to my studying and my discernment, I wasn't sure whether this was a good or a bad thing. Of course, you know, before you arrive to the town, you actually can see the actual 10 statements that they have on the slab. So not all people actually want to travel there. But luckily, I feel that it was a blessing for me to arrive there to Elberton, Georgia, due to the fact that I was able to find information that the granite was very cheap there. So when my mother passed, I was able to purchase a headstone that was like 80% cheaper than what it would have been if I had allowed to be dictated where I purchased it from. So FYI to anyone that needs any granite, you can order it from Elberton, Georgia. You could pick it up. I actually had it in the back seat of a BMW. Okay, but carrying on, back to the message. This is the reason why the granite is so cheap, y'all. It's the granite capital of the world, and there's over 45 different quarries that produce granite. One thing that's no mystery is why they picked Elberton, Georgia for the Guidestones to be built there, erected there. Number one, the Guidestones were actually conveniently marked almost in the center of the world. Two, the granite's pretty darn heavy, so imagine having to tote that thing somewhere else. Now, three is allegedly. It has more link to Georgia than what we could ever imagine. Here starts the mystery. 1979, a man named R.C. Christian, slender, dressed very well, walked into Elberton Granite Finishing Company. They spoke to the president of the company, which was Mr. Finley. Unfortunately, but fortunately, there is no photos of R.C. Christian. He was stated to be an elegantly dressed, slender man. When he walked in and spoke to Mr. Finley, they sat down and spoke. Mr. Finley heard his strange request of a 16-foot stones that were going to be compasly clocked and calendared. He specified the creation should be able to defy man-made and natural disasters. Now, peep this. I ain't no rocket in the socket or nothing like that, but he admitted that R.C. Christian was not his name. He stated he represented a group that was located outside of the state. Aside from R.C. Christian and Mr. Finley having a very in-depth conversation about the details of Mr. Christian's request, Mr. Finley left the conversation assumedly thinking that he had a kook sitting in his chair. Mr. Finley tried to back out of the situation due to the fact that he was a devout Christian, and these terms went against all that he was used to. I think it's more of an understatement to say that Mr. Finley felt some type of way. Mr. Finley was pondering, trying to figure out how could he get this man out of his life for good. So he upped the price. He gave him an outrageous price. Mr. Christian did not budge. He requested that Mr. Finley locate a banker that he could trust. Despite Mr. Finley's morals and principles, if say no more was a word, Granite City Bank is who he sent him to. Now, if I was a fly on the wall, my next question would be, now how in the hell is you going to go to this bank and you coming to me when your name is a pseudonym, a nickname, a alias? Come on now. Nevertheless, he walked seats old over there to Granite City Bank the next morning, and he met with the president, Mr. Wyatt Martin. Mr. Wyatt Martin sat down and also heard those infamous details that R.C. Christian had in mind for the Guidestones. I'm not sure if he was able to stomach them like Mr. Finley stomached them or not, but arrangements were made. R.C. Christian, remember, that's not his name. That was a pseudonym. Mr. Wyatt stated, hey, look, I'm willing to do this, but look, I need your real name, my G. So Mr. Christian stated, okay, look, I'm going to negotiate with you. I tell you what, I'll give you all this money, put it in an escrow, do what you will, probably give you something on the top. I'm not sure. I just threw that little sauce in there. But anywho, told him, look, if I give you my information, you don't tell nobody, all the way past non-disclosure, all the way to forever, okay? Then turn back around and destroy the paperwork. Ain't that just a little bit not right? Just a little teensy weensy piece not right. Hold on. The buffoonery don't stop there. Okay? This man say, I'm finna send it from different accounts. Cross shores everywhere. Just to make sure don't nobody know. Mr. Wyatt say, send it on. So we just pedaling across the top, and clearly we could tell it's not a mystery to anybody but us. It's not a mystery to anybody that needed to know. Contract signed, money sent, contracts shredded. In 1980, the production started. Finley gathered up his workers, gathered up the request, and within the request, the overseeing of Mr. Christian, we got the Georgia Guidestones. The Guidestones were revealed in June of 1981. Many people gathered and were expecting to see R.C. Christian at the reveal. Come on now. You know they quicker than that. Come on now. You know R.C. Christian's quicker than that. A detail I left out. They did request for a security monitor to be present on the premises, as well as a live person to survey and monitor the land. I failed to mention how they acquired the land. Like I said earlier, they already knew precisely where they wanted to place the monument. So, of course, you knew money was not an option. So this is a small, quaint town of Elberton that was pretty low income. So they approached some farmers. In exchange for the monetary value, and the upkeep of the land as far as finances, we would also allow your cows to continue to graze here. Upon that request, after erection, they gave that land over to the city of Elberton. They are who controls the monuments. Now, I almost could deal with R.C. Christian and that ish that he was with, right? Because, to each his own. You got the money, do what you do. But here you involving me, Maintain humanity under 500 million in perpetual balance with nature. Man, that's almost 6.5 billion people that got to go somewhere, and that might just be me. It could be whoever's listening, whoever's watching it. It could be your loved one. Man, this involves us, man. Whew, let me gather myself. Okay. Number 2. I got passion. Anywho. Number 2. Guide reproduction wisely. Improve fitness and diversity. Okay. I ain't got nothing to say about that. Number 3, unite humanity with a new living language. I don't know about that either. Number 4, rule passion, faith, tradition, and all things with tempered reason. Now I'm feeling them on that now. Number 5, protect people and nations with fair laws and just courts. Hell yeah. Of course we with that. Number 6. Let all nations rule internally, resolving external disputes in a world court. Pump your brakes. Pump y'all brakes on this one. Did you hear that? World court. World court. NWO. I'm not talking about wrestling. New World Order. That's what it sounds like to me. Number 7. Avoid petty laws and useless officials. Definitely feeling that one. I know everybody else got somebody out there that's been unjustly, fined, sentenced, whatever. Number 8. Balance personal rights and social duties. Here we go again with the BS. All right, that sounds like you're gonna start dictating us, man. We're finna be under dictatorship. Allegedly, my assumption, just from me reading, trying to figure out what the hell they're trying to just infer to me, because I'm not privy to the information. 'Cause I'm not the elite, okay? Number 9, prize truth, beauty, love, seeking harmony with the infinite. I'm feeling the prizes, but what's up with the seeking harmony with the infinite? Infinite? Infinite in my Soldier Boy voice? Are you serious? Now let's check out the word infinite. I don't know about y'all, but it's just what I thought. Having no limits, endless. The only thing that I've ever heard that was endless in our lifetime was our imagination. Speaking of the infinite, it brings me to mind of The Infinite, the movie with Mark Wahlberg. It was a great movie, by the way. It's about reincarnation. I don't want to spoil the movie for you, but here goes my point. The whole point was it was a madman trying to destroy the cycle of endless life. So pretty much what they're saying is they're going to stop the endless life cycle, meaning that our great, 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 great grandmother probably won't come through the actual individual, which is us, anymore. We won't embody our ancestors. So that is a big problem for me, sir, ma'am. All right, back to the countdown. This is the final one. Number 10. Be not a cancer on earth. Leave room for nature. Leave room for nature. I'm head to toe feeling this one. I'm not even finna tell you no lie. I don't think anyone should be a cancer to the environment, the people around us, or anything. I think everybody should strive for ascension. Also leaving room for nature. If we don't mind nature, meaning that we pay attention to what will hurt nature and also to help nature grow, then there is no nature. Without the trees, we can't breathe. Without the grow, shit, we ain't no more. I feel like I've been spanked, petted up, spanked, petted up, spanked, petted up. Yeah, I don't know about these Guidestones, y'all, but hey, we finna get down to the gristle of this. And mind you, all of this is alleged. I don't know nothing. I ain't talking about nothing, and I ain't saying nothing. Let go. Now let's do what aunties do, and let's peep some more game. Allegedly, there were 2 men that entered into the granite company that day. One being R.C. Christian, which we're going to check into him in a second. And the second man being a shorter, gray-haired, older man dressed well in a 3-piece suit. As we still know, not much is known about R.C. Christian to this day. What is for sure is he did not leave his real name. There is no traces that link back to him. The information was so-called allegedly destroyed, and he left Elberton, Georgia in a charter plane. One educated guess could be that it's Christian Rosenkreuz. He was a medieval German aristocrat, orphaned and raised in a monastery for 12 years. There, he was able to learn all type of esoteric wisdom. During his travels, he gained wisdom from the Turkish, the Arabs, the Persians, and possibly even allegedly the Zoroastrians. Upon returning, he founded the fraternity of the Rose Cross. And who else to head the fraternity other than he himself? Mystique seems to be hooked to everything that's associated with Christian Rosenkreuz. Some occultists believe that Rosenkreuz reappeared. Get it? Reappeared as the Count of Saint Germain, a Cartier adventurer alchemist who died 27 February 1784. Rosenkreuz is also mysteriously, still allegedly, to be the person depicted in the painting by Rembrandt, The Man in Armor. Okay, I guess I see the similarities. But anywho, I hope this is not seeming like another Forrest Gump situation. Another mysterious but not alleged fact is he has no proof of birth or death. He allegedly lived to be 106 years old. Finally, he allegedly and mysteriously went to his grave with a secret for the universe. He decided to keep the secret due to the fact that he said that people were not ready for what he had discovered. So therefore, he took it to his tomb with instructions for his brethren that maybe in the future that they would be able to pick up where he left off. Makes a lot of sense. But hey, I don't have two pennies to rub together in this peeping process, so let's go. So we have came to the conclusion that it could possibly be the Rose Cross as well as the Rosicrucian Society, fraternity or organization, whichever one you want to say. One down, one to go. Now let's peep Mr. 240 Shorty here. Mr. Steppin', I'm stepping up in there with him with his lemon pepper steppers on. Let's see what he talking about. Allegedly, the founder, the owner. Now, when I traveled to Elberton, Georgia, I asked a local townsman that were sitting on their porch. It was an elderly couple. They stated that they believed that him, was responsible for the financial part of the Guidestones. Although I have not found any links other than him to the fraternal group of the Kappa Sigmas, I also read, but it's allegedly, of course, no truth, no anything, it's just conversation piece or whatever. It states that he was from a higher order of the Mata. I'm not sure what that is. I don't want to be nosy. You know, I don't know nothing. I ain't said nothing. I ain't talking about that. I mean, let's be clear here. No, allegedly. He has the same views as what the Guidestones is hitting to. Now, back to the BS. Okay, did I mention that that 26,000-pound slab up there has ancient hieroglyphic writing up there, okay? Why does everything that has to do with something that has to do with stuff that's secret has to do with the Egyptians? I want to know. One time for the people in the back. I don't know nothing. I ain't talking about nothing. I ain't said nothing, okay? Let's go. When thinking of the Egyptians, I know if not with y'all, but definitely with me, you think about the afterlife. You know, they had the keys to the afterlife. I mean, the game of chess came from the tombs of the ancient ones, a game that they allegedly were to play while waiting to return, which leads us to Cern. Cern is over there in Switzerland. I'm going to do a video on that to get down and dirty on that, but just right now, we're just going to touch on it, okay? As you see that the Cern, the middle of Cern looks like an eye. Don't forget the Egyptian eye of Horus, okay? It's no coincidence. Everything is interconnected. Also, they're trying to get the humanity down to less than 500 million, okay? So think about that. To anyone that's already looked into the Anunnaki / the ancient Sumerians, you already know that they came down and gave us advanced technology. Upon giving us advanced technology, they also gave us rules that were similar to these Guidestones, like pay attention to nature, you know, don't be a Cancer, and don't overpopulate. Now, on to the word infinite. Remember earlier when we were speaking on infinite, you know, it comes to mind when you speak of the reoccurring lives that we all live in different bodies, different situations, and different times. Now let's travel back over to the Cern, right? Okay, the Cern is called the God particle, and it's got God particle versus the black matter. What it does is it explodes, and what they're trying to do is seems to be like it's like the movie Big Trouble in Little China, or even Howard the Duck. I mean, I don't know. I'll say that part for another video, just so I could dive in deeper. I don't. In closing, wouldn't you guys say that with all that's going on, all the lives that we have lost lately, wouldn't you think that they're more closer to their goals than not? Hold tight to your discernment, y'all. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
Shit that you do.